Good morning, everyone. Willie the Bam Johnson. This morning I started at 1:48. I'm really committed to proceeding forward and achieving every dream. One of the main reasons why it's hard for the sport to grow, we know that in recent years the main focal point has been kata and children competition. We live in a country and in a world where the one thing that really registers in people's minds is the ability to be able to fight. At one time, even in our industry, we talked about taking out sparring in commercial martial arts schools. We can't do that. We can't afford to do that because sparring is the thing that truly defines character. It's the ability to be able to function under pressure through sparring, combative, safe elements that allow our children and our teenagers to really be able to deal with those emotions that forces them to react and do negative things or have crazy outbursts. When you're in an arena, and we all know they come from traditional schools or schools back in the day, when you had to spar with the instructor or some student that was better than you in that dojo, you couldn't get mad. You just got beat up even more. You had to make the adjustments under pressure, and eventually you found the way to find some harmony, develop a friendship. He taught you some of his secret weapons, and you were able to come back and get a couple of good blows in, and he was able to get them back in on you and vice versa. That was the journey. Even in the world of sports karate, I mean, I remember times traveling and, working out on the side with Jerry Prince, Tony Young, Keith Irabashi, sparring around with people at the events, asking questions, just really watching, the incredible level of kata and fighting competition back then. And back then, remember, you had to win your division, but then you were all put in, regardless of your weight class, to go up for the overall grand championship. I still remember a time in Kentucky seeing Tony Young beat Billy Blanks, and everybody, no, ain't no way a super lightweight going to beat a heavyweight, but Tony did it. It was an honor for me to be a part of that. I guess I came up being like a water boy, a bag boy, one who knew his place. As a rookie on the circuit, I needed to sit back and really take notes and really listen and learn from what the great ones were doing, like the Nasty Andersons, the Billy Blanks, the Linda Denleys, the Miyazakis. The list goes on and on. I am so appreciative of those opportunities. And we know that during that time, the greatest thing of the Karate Illustrated era was to compete, win, to be rated in the top 10, to make the cover of the magazine, to possibly get a movie role. It led to bigger and better things, to get a book contract, to do seminars. There were so many things that you were able to branch out into doing. Those things, they really amounted to a lot for all of us back then. And then, of course, in the 80s, we started seeing more money being issued through Budweiser, Toki Hill, Chuck Merman, Trench Oil, Karate Team, all those things. But when the money started becoming an issue, I was one of those competitors who my life was dedicated to competing and training and trying to take care of my family through sports karate. So when there was no money to win, how was I going to feed my family? Those were those dynamics that made a kid like me that was coming up in a bad environment choose, like, hold up, man, I want to do this, but how am I going to be able to get some food on the table? What am I going to do? So you had to, you felt victim to the streets. You did your little hustle. So it wasn't always just that I was a kid who just said, hey, I just want to commit a crime. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. No. I wanted my mom out that sloppy situation. I wanted her to stop being suppressed. I thought the sport would feed me and give me a chance to break away and make a better life for my mom. But there was a lot of sacrifices because there was no money. There was a $500 here and a little bit here. Thank God that I did get what I was able to get. I had to use what I could use. Father at a young age, I had to make the best of a sloppy situation. So I know that when I got in a situation to be able to mature and be blessed to come back to the arts and to the sport, I wanted to make things better. Point MMA is opportunity. Find a way to get the sponsors, if it's possible, to get them to match the prize money so we can at least reward more cash prizes to our competitors. If the money's not there, come on now. I was a competitor going to a tournament and looking at it and saying, hold up, man, he ain't give no money. It ain't like it was the Diamond Nationals where you got an 8th place ribbon and it was well worth the trip of being on the bus for 3 days. Or the the Battle of Atlanta, Kentucky. But a small tournament getting $100, $200. Come on, man, let's be real. Especially somebody traveling from one place to another. And what is that going to do? I mean, and then we can't always keep on staging some guy, you know, because he want to, like, stage his own tournaments. He staged some tournament and call it a world championship. And, I mean, you got students, you know, going out competing against okay competition. Come on, what happened to the Warriors? What happened to going in a fighting division? I remember going to with the great Henry Grant of Baltimore, going to the Battle of the Dojos up there in Jamaica, Queens, New York, with Master Fred Hamilton, God bless his soul, and seeing the guys fight from the ground. I mean, New York was like it. You wanted to prove your fighting prowesses, man. Come to New York. I remember times seeing Nasty and all those guys come to New York and fighting down to the win with, you know, Kevin Thompson and so forth. I remember going up to the Empire State, Master Greg Turney, you know, driving all the way up to his tournament. It was worth it, man, and getting a second place. You can't, you know, we can't, like, just because we want to make a profit, destroy the ability for the student to grow under pressure. So, I mean, from my own opinion, that's the reason why people are drawn to the UFC. Because, like, hold up, man, it's real. When you done watered down the challenge for the individual student, it's almost like me coming up in my school and just training against my own classmates or sparring against my own people. No, go out there, man, experience the world. But at the same time, yes, the promoter got to make sure that he's concerned with the ripple effect of bad judging, bad character, you know, all those things that have went on in events and do go on in events at some. He got to be concerned with that and how it's going to affect that school owner that brings his students to the school. And then when he goes back to the school, he's hearing about it from Monday all the way through. And possibly losing students. Students that have been signed up with him for a long time. I mean, he's losing a real precious person, a real good student, one that has real great potential. And at the same time, he's affecting this guy's bread and butter. So we all got to find a happy medium. Point MMA is our opportunity to give back. Not just as a promoter, someone who loves martial arts, because I love the whole element. I love watching MMA, man. Do I really want my kids to do it? Even my oldest son, do I really want him to do it? No, not at that level, but to at least be able to play around with it. Everybody played with basketball, played with football. We all did it in our day and age coming up. Even in the inner city, you was on a Little League baseball team. There was always someone that came in, like in Baltimore, Little Italy, you know, coming in and starting a baseball league, football league, whatever it may be, to give the kids some hope and some direction. You know, that's what Point MMA, that's the goal for Point MMA. To be able to build the champions like the Raymond Daniels, I mean, you know, the Marco Johnsons, the great ones that are out there, giving them guys a chance to be able to become the champions and the models of the sport and allow them to be able to profit from their endeavors and even showing them how to take those opportunities and go off into movies or go off into writing or go off into school ownership or building a clothing line or something. Showing them how to expand their own brand. First helping them to realize that they do have a brand. And it's the brand of the promoter as well as the competitor that brings strength to our sport. Those are the things that Point MMA is trying to bring back. And me and my wife, as competitors, you know, we know what it was like, you know, with not getting the cash awards or getting some cash and, you know, trying to make the bills from what we had won. Here's our opportunity to bring that back. Or at least to be able to work with individuals that are trying to do that. Point MMA will never be involved with any event that's not giving away cash awards for the fighters and not giving an opportunity for everyone to grow in a safe, fun, and friendly manner. We can't be disrespectful to the competitors. The competitors are like, it's like you running a school. They are your customers. You don't treat a customer disrespectfully. You treat them with respect and honor. And it's a privilege for them to come out and support you.